Cringeworthy. The next episode, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, now that was like a.
And my ratchet self be like,
Oh, okay. So we haven't even said much. We're like already just laughing.
Gomorrah.
So yeah. Oh, this episode is just starting. We're on fire, simply because we just came from we just did another episode before we recorded this, so we didn't wait a couple of days in between episodes, right? So yeah, check it. So welcome, CW. Hashtag.
So the guest is back.
Yeah, it's not you, it's me. You know how it is. Yes, and guess who's in the building? Victoria, don't tell
Bad.
So Victoria, don't tell nobody's in. And then the host with the most, you know me, QAMATA Jason Sonini. Sonini. You know, keeping it consistent like the knickknacks pack. Elearanta. You know it. Yeah. So we just did another episode, like I said, right? And it was so heated, it was so fun. We just had so much fun. We just decided on the spot, you know what, listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the second episode now because we have a topic. We already have a topic and we want to just kill it now. So we're like, you know what, let's get into it. And then as you can see, on to the next one. We don't waste no time in between. That's how we just doing it. So yeah, Sandra Makhehle, she's not here.
Hey Sandra.
Yo Sandra, we just wanted to tell you we be thinking of you. We hope you're okay. No, there's nothing wrong with Sandra. No, there's nothing wrong with Sandra. Sandra's just left the country,
the continent,
the planet.
She's somewhere orbiting somewhere.
She's in orbital space.
Nice to be in orbit.
So yeah, it's me and Victoria. Don't tell nobody in studio today. We're just doing like our thing. Yeah, it's not really a studio, but it's a thing.
It's studio enough to be called a studio.
Yeah, it's
studio. And like I still don't understand why you hating on the space. You know, you need to talk to the space in a way that it becomes what you want.
Okay, let me talk to. I would like a 21 bedroom mansion.
Universe, are you listening?
Universe.
Don't do me dirty.
21 bedroom mansion. I like a driveway, the type that you have to drive like 5 kilometers to get to my front door.
Back in the days when I used to watch Dallas, I always used to be like, yay!
Wait a minute, stop. Dallas,
like Dallas, there was a repeat of it.
No, I'm just like Dallas. Wait, Dallas like the reboot or Dallas like the old Dallas?
I get it, there was the reboot, and then I went and watched the old one. Because they brought back the dad, JC's dad. The reboot.
Okay, what is Dallas about?
So Dallas is about a rich, white, Texan oil magnate family.
Typical.
But when I watched the reboot, I got interested in them. Like, how did they actually become rich oil family?
Magnates. Magnates. Yeah. Magnates.
So
yeah. I think it's that. Tycoon. Tycoon magnate.
Tycoon. Nobody said tycoon.
Tycoon. When someone's got money, they'll be like, yo, get tycoon. Like, when someone said, you're a tycoon, you got money, bro.
So I went back and I went to the 1800s. Wow, kid. 1980s one.
I'm so afraid because of
Look, okay, there's an 8 in it, and I thought 1800s because we spoke about 1800s earlier. So please take it easy on me, okay? It's been anyway. As I was saying, so I watched it, and I'm like, these people have a driveway.
That was like
they have their own road.
So there's like an
Before you
overall-
get to the driveway.
So go na le tsela ya bone before you even get to the property.
Lalela. Ka mo ke dipitsi. Ka mo ke. Hey, go di
So
river in the
it will
backyard.
basically be called Victoria Lane.
Yes, to
And then
get
you get in,
to Victoria Avenue,
and then Victoria Avenue
to Victoria House.
to the Victoria Vineyard. As a-
No, vineyard.
Yeah, I think vineyard. But-
Vineyard we feta mo Victoria Road.
Oh, feta vineyard ne.
Yeah.
Mara kana ba di bitsang? Ba di bitsang di pleke tsena tse di- no, not estate man. Estate.
Yeah, no, it was an estate.
But the estate
It's an estate. It's a ranch.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it a ranch? No,
Okay,
a ranch is where the horses are.
Basically, these guys had their own.
You can tell that
worlds.
we grew up in the Makukus. You get the idea.
No, I get the idea. That's why, yeah. You know what? The space does what it needs to do. That's what is good about it. The space does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not giving up on it because it needs to do
But
what it needs to do.
21 bed. What are you gonna do with 21 bedrooms?
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with 21
Actually,
bedrooms.
I don't think I want to know.
No, I'm going to tell you because everybody needs to know. You need to know. There's 21 bedrooms, right? There are 30 days in a month. If you exclude the weekends, there's 21 days.
Wenana.
I'm going to work for 21 days. Zang zang.
Oh, Kansa 2.0. But
Okay.
anyway.
Let's move.
Oh my God.
Let's move it.
Let's move it. Let's keep it moving.
Thank you again, guys, for joining us. Thank you again for joining us. I love how little you guys are here. I don't know why I always go into that community radio station voice. Re leboga gore le joina go ba le rona mo lenaneng la rona le la
Community
Cringe
radio
Wave. The community radio voice ke le
Guys, somebody get me out of here.
ra leboga mo lenaneng la rona la Cringe Wave.
Gompieno. Like really, I'm bad as Sana, but yes, when they speak, you're like, I'm like, yeah. And you're like, oh my God, what are they
mo
saying?
lenaneng la rona la gompieno
Yes.
re tla be re bua ka tsa moya le tsa matlosana. Okay, no, it's just, but
Thokozani bomkhulu nabogogo.
yebo now I'm cool. Welcome.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host with the most.
Ow.
Mkhulu Bay.
Mkhulu, don't tell nobody. Mkhulu ngabatsheli. Victoria ngabatsheli. Nami hayi igama lami QAMATA JASON Sonini. Sonini. Ngifana
I just
ne
had to-
knickknacks pack ya R1. That's yeah. So yeah, our topic for today, we're gonna go back into it. We're talking about spirituality and religion in the first one.
Yes.
And then
Put this down.
we just figured there's something that we want to touch on. I think basically because of what you and I have both been through in terms of our spiritual journeys. And how a spiritual journey, please, I can tell you. Go na le motho o yang mo spiritual journey. In other words, you finding yourself and you finding your truth. You're starting to meditate. You're starting to have conversations with your inner self. You know, you're starting to have conversations and starting to
You're
recognize.
starting to look within.
Yeah. And then go na le di spiritual journey tse dingwe tse le tsa gore mang bega lapha ayi ufuna ke lokho uthwase. Hey. So we're talking about different spiritual journeys here, right? Because I think we've both been on spiritual journeys. I think I've been on more than just one. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it. And I can tell. First of all, I'm gonna just say it. Say it.
Put it out there.
Baningi. There's so many people out there. You rock up, you get there, ne? Okay, let me explain uklola. Uklola is when you go. I feel like I want to go and just find out what's been going on in my life. You know, as a brown person, as an African person who's connected to your roots being the African continent, you know, most that's how we do it. So you go there, you speak to this person, whatnot, and we're all gifted.
We
We're
are
all
all
gifted.
gifted. Thank you for
So
putting it out there.
You
We
get
are
there.
all gifted, and nobody actually understands
No,
that.
because you get there, then they check. Aye, yeah, they start like that. The moment you walk in, they start like that. Then they tell you, no, you gifted, you got a gift and whatnot. But here's the thing: being gifted doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. O tlamehile gore o tsamaye ka tsela e rileng. Someone can be gifted and you gifted but wakula, right? And when we say you wakula, it just means there's certain traditional things that your ceremonies that you need to do, and then you get better and you get alright, and then you 100%, right? My issue is
it's just like going to a doctor. Can we just dumb it down? I'm not saying everyone is dumb, but there's some people be like, woo, wabona ya no. No, it's just like going to a doctor.
Wakula. You sick, how you quickly handle these symptoms. Symptoms, how you go to a normal Western doctor. Doctor, when I
look COVID.
I don't know how many doctors are out there saying.
And there's different types of doctors.
There's a gynecologist, there's a psychologist,
orthodontist, pediatrician.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't even know. King pediatrician.
Babana.
Why didn't they call it
Kidsalicians? Because it sounds so wrong.
It sounds so.
I gotta get it,
Gotta beat off. So you go to the doctor. How if doctor team? On these symptoms, doctor, cough, headache, fever. Doctor, what?
Stuffy nose.
You know what I'm saying? Doctor,
swollen lymph nodes.
Ow! I didn't even know what lymph node.
Lymph nodes are where the soft parts of your bodies, like those areas that are your connectors.
My belly?
No, your
my
connectors.
buttocks?
I'm trying to explain.
My butt is soft.
You connect. That's why I said connectors. Like
okay.
The connection areas, which is your neck, your face to your neck.
Yeah.
Your armpits, which connects your arms to your body.
Yeah.
Your groin, which connects your legs to your. Those are the part. Those where the lymph nodes are.
Oh, okay.
So whenever they're swollen, then that means there's something wrong closest to the area. Like I know when you have no, I've got a sore throat. It's actually your nose, the irritations.
Doctor, I gave doctor a symptom. Doctor is giving me solution.
Yes, they'd be like, oh, okay, let's open your mouth. Is it swollen? Is it sore? Is it affecting your ear? Then they'd be like, okay, no, then one kalohang. But if it's not affecting your ear, is it affecting? Oh, okay, only flu symptom. No.
Wow. Ay umoya ukhona hayi siyavuma makhosi. So you see, now when we do it the other way, the African way, we're gonna turn it the African way. We are wafika hayi kunjani hayi.
Let's also explain the different African ways, because we managed to talk about there's orthodontist, which is for the teeth, there's a pediatrician for the kids, there's a gynecologist for the female organs, there's I don't know what for guys is, but there's a GP, general practitioner. So there's specialists and there's just normal doctors, and there's what's for the eyes, Gunji, and labor main.
I see orthodontist.
Dentist.
I see orthodontist.
Optometrist.
Orthodontist again.
Okay,
dentist.
Yeah, I said dentist. There's a dentist and a
specialist.
Then there's
an orthodontist. And
orthodontist is the one that
orthodontist
ke ba di trata le di rekere.
Wa itse nna ke tseba ba feng ne?
O tseba GP.
Nna ke tlo go blela ke tseba ba feng. Ke tseba there's a
prophetist. Dr. Mashobadi.
I was trying to be serious. I was genuinely trying to be serious and try to answer this. Which one? What are the different? and then the work doctor. You see what the problem with our African? You see, how is it work doctor? So there's a prophetist. Is it
a prophetess or a prophet?
Prophetess.
Prophetess.
I know there's a prophetist. ne, there's a Ngaka East, but in the Ngaka East, there's different ones. I know there's a Ngunyisms, and then there's a oh, there's a Daoism, right?
Taoism.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
under the healer, yeah.
So far, that's what I understand. But I do understand that there's, and I'd written this somewhere down. I do understand that there's those that that like you're a herbalist, like you just work with herbs. I just forgot what the name is. I'm definitely
I forgot the name, and we were actually talking about it.
I'm gonna try remember the name. There's a herbalist. Isn't someone who just works
with herbs.
Which is herbs, basically like a pharmacist type of thing.
Yeah.
What's about that stuff?
Yes, exactly, like a pharmacist.
You know, yeah. You know? And then there's one where you genuinely like genuinely like
those are, isn't it that prophets? Doesn't that fall under prophets?
Okay, there's what I do understand. There's a hunale moporofita. Then hunale moporofita ngaka. Right? But I do understand. There's a moporofita who oberekang ka moya fela. And there's different types. There's one that hey, yes, Kamako. There's one that when you rock up to the space, as in there's nothing they put in front of you, nothing. They just sit there and they go, when I go sheva so, right? And then there's the one who, how can they'll use water. Yeah. And then there's one that uses fire. Yeah. Literally fire.
Fire.
You know? And
there's different types. One use candles, others use matches.
So there's different types.
There's also I don't know what it's called in Kasetu, but there's also one that is a messenger, like connects with the other side. But there's a very few of those.
That's why then how can I move or I don't like the term sangoma. The reason why I don't like sangoma
because it's the what it's attached to.
When we turn it into English as well, it becomes a traditional. They call it a witch doctor. Sorry. So that's why. But I do understand.
I would say healer.
Yeah, I would say traditional healer, which is what I would. That's what I relate to.
But we need to drop if we're going to talk about the whole holistically. We will say traditional when we talk about it. For now, we'll just say healer, because when we talk about what people don't realize and don't understand, even as a black person, because of, hey, now I'm going deep, hey? Of the traveler spirit. You could have a gift, but also it's not from your lineage, but it's attached to your lineage because of the traveler who was in contact with your lineage, and you can become a medium. You can become a moto, or
I like how you're explaining this.
Or who's a tarot card reader, of which is not traditional for us. But now you see, that's the thing, and people don't understand.
But with the tarot card reading, we have something similar, whereas you can go to a traditional healer, and how you can bring like I'll bring an item, like I'll bring
item,
and then that sweater, they're gonna look at it and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, no, I see this, I see that, whatnot, right? So sorry about that. So yeah, you got, you got me. So what I don't like, I think what I love is the healer, and I wanted to make a point on that, to say, I think just like Hunale, there's police officers, and then there's robbers. There's cops, and then there's robbers. So there's traditional healers, and then there's the other side of it. There's the dark side of it, right?
There's the yin and the yang. So there's a light and there's a dark.
And I would rather call healers because for the sake of education or educating, to say, well, this is what traditionally we as African brown people did. We heal. That is in our nature. That is how to watch by history. They like this thing, oh, we civilized you people. When Europe was in its first dynasty, Africa had already been through 5. We had already been through 5 dynasties when Europe, not when Europe was in the first dynasty. Sorry, when Europe was in the Dark Ages. We were on our 5th dynasty. I do apologize for that. We were civilized, and civilized. When you look at the word being civilized or civilization, the first which is civil, which means peaceful.
Peaceful.
We as brown people are peaceful people naturally. That is why we greet. We walk down the street, we greet. Unjan. Hi, hey, what? That is what brown people, we share that connection. It just comes naturally. That humility, that respect, that understanding, it comes naturally. So even the healing, that is our natural.
That is
sense.
that's the basic.
That's the basic. Like, we are healers. We are healers, and how we used to heal is we heal through plants and herbs and most
natural.
A lot of times, the elements, the
natural elements, which is the 4 elements
wind,
that we
fire,
use.
Wind, fire, water, and what's the 4th one?
It's eke, metsi, moya, mollo. What is
nature? Isn't
what
it
is
nature?
it? What's the 4th one?
Isn't it nature like?
But this is all nature,
soil,
but there's
like
4.
Ground.
Earth, wind, fire. Earth,
wind, fire, and rocks, nature, like soil, like ground.
Saying earth?
But earth is
yes, earth. Earth is
earth,
more
wind, fire,
soil,
and water. Yes, there. But I said it.
Yeah.
This person.
Ay man. My brain thinks in English.
I'm quoting that. Oh my word, that was so difficult. My brain was thinking in English there. So those are things that we use on Talochai. So now looking at this whole being healers and whatnot, and naturally, innately, we are
and that's
gifted.
if you look at it now, that I just thought of it like earlier when before we started, it's mollo, right?
Fire.
The snuff. So mollo, fire meaning the candle.
Yeah.
Let's just explain to the people. The swirl.
Snuff.
What snuff?
Because the plants come from
the plant.
Yeah.
Which is
the tobacco plant that made the snuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the mbeb. And the wind that directs you or gives you the direction of. That's how they connect, and that's what how they give you the message. Because you read, on the smoke coming from that, and I was looking at some point the candle and there's no breeze, but then because they are everywhere, like we were saying, that's how they kind of connecting.
I was actually going to mention when we put on them people, and did you see like smoke setting? It was linear. Like in a straight line.
Yeah.
And which that symbolizes. Yes. Appendix A. Yes, if you look at it, it is pointing to the fact that your ancestors are budding. It means that the ancestors are here. It means that they've accepted, because we were just asking for like a good space and vibe, and we're just asking them to be here so they can guide us through this process. So those 4 elements, and that is innately in all of us. We're all gifted. But then you go to this person and wafitla with your innate gift, which we are
blind faith.
With your blind faith,
especially our generations, who we were totally shut out from traditional ways of doing things,
and we the traditional ways of doing things was urabele, Hail Mary. You owe me 4 Hail Marys for what you just did, and
you must go confess your sins to the Father, who will tell you how many Hail Marys you have to do for your sins.
Thinking, and there's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. I always go to that. Nakwele Jesu alemo when he was being crucified, and then when I think it was the moment when Jesus died, right? Took the last breath, and then lisira, or what?
The
veil that tore in two. And understood when that was being explained to me was that what that meant was there used to be a veil, as in you used to go to church and then the priest used to be on the other side and then you'd be on the other side and then you'd be like, you check this, I want you to tell Jesus. So it was
basically saying you don't need to do that because I want you to have a
now
direct
you have a
connection.
So what the funny thing
But they still
is
carry
that
on and
till
do it.
today they still do it. I wanted to say that. It's funny how they say, because we're not spiritually, this is what we believe. We believe how when you want to connect with your ancestors, there's a time when you don't even have impepo. You don't have impepo, you don't have a flame, you don't have
nothing.
The one thing which is present there, will be the ground you're walking on, sorry. Yep. That right there is where you're going to do your work. Right then and there. Because you're already connected, you could just kneel and you could just say, hey, this is who I am. I'm calling on these type of ancestors. I'm calling on my guardian angels.
Can I
I'm
back
calling
in
the
and
spirit.
say this?
Yeah.
I don't know which I get it. Indians have different Hindus, and there's different types. But when it hits 12 o'clock on a Friday, wherever you are, I've seen it with so many of them. If they can't make it to the temple,
to the mosque, yeah.
To the mosque, excuse me. Temple is something else.
And it's not Indians, it's
Muslims. Thank you. Sorry guys, I still need to educate myself more. But yeah, and I'm saying I don't know everything. I'm not perfect. I'm just also here to learn. And put down in the comment if there's something that you want to share. We'd love that as well, because we want to learn from you as well.
Yeah.
Where moto ntsha mmata wa gage, wherever they are, whether it's on the side of the road or wherever, they will take out, whether if they have a mat or not. I've seen it on 2 occasions where one person just took off their shoes and just kneeled on their shoes because it was ground.
Connect right
there.
And
12 o'clock on a Friday, and that person did their prayers. Doesn't matter.
Here's the question.
And we're okay with that because because they were so adamant on this is what they do. This is their tradition. This is what they practice.
This is what they practice. This is what I believe.
I think that's what we're struggling with.
We don't have a sense of belief. Yeah. And I'm gonna say that. And I know
so pulled in so many different.
Yeah, and I know it's offensive to a lot of people, but you don't have a sense of belief because belief is go dumela. Dumela ga go ke eng. You know what I'm saying? And how and oh my goodness. Dumela how how rooted, how deeply rooted is that in your heritage, in who you are? Because you believe in something that's not you, first of all, right? O try to how tla gola o godisitswe gote tsama wa go bua le ntate mogolo o reng khono go o yo go mabitleng wa go bua le ene o mo tlhalosetse, go speak to whoever one tlhaloganya. Now you get told no, but the Bible says those people are dead, you can't be doing that. But then the Bible also says you shouldn't be going to a priest to go speak to a priest. You go directly to the source. But now the Bible, but what our
also to say before kwata. Mara, have you seen batho ba ba re ska ya go ke mabitla, you speaking to nothing, mabitla bana skono ya
bona,
there's fresh flowers.
I think
Mararona, when you do that, are you speaking to you can't go speak to
I
also want to go there? Put fresh flowers for my late
that's what they're asking. So guys, wait a second. I think the point
people
of
need
this,
to understand that what they saying is wrong that we're doing. They're doing exactly that. Why are they making it look like it's a bad thing when we do it? Why is it that Sfani say, but like you say Sfani samoto young.
Ngalo se buile root.
Mendonka. Mabitla bona gona le fresh flowers.
No, but
Easter, how gaga Easter?
That's the thing.
People, I implore you to take a drive to the graveside, especially Zelensamachur.
Especially during like Easter time.
Easter
time.
Like
special. Actually, no.
Just go
Don't
and
even
see
wait
how many
Easter.
fresh flowers you're going to see.
On a Sunday. Go on a Sunday afternoon. I've seen it Sunday afternoon, Saturday afternoon. I've been there. Keri, hey man, can't do the halim. Makwaba temo. They there. One but the camp chair. They sit there and they talk. They talk.
Conversation.
Babua. Rona, that is so black. Yeah, wait again. Before we go back to the topic, this is what I've seen.
It also shows how much they know about this religion that they're following. Because the people that they're following, the people they go to the churches with, are doing exactly what they're saying is wrong. And when we do
that. And then this is how I've seen
they
it.
come back
I've seen it.
and say it's wrong. But then Baba tlogela go to toropong, and then after church they probably go past. Oh, let's go see Mamang.
Sandra.
And we're not saying, hey, we're not. Hey, Sandra.
Wait, just wait for a second. Wait for a second. Listen here. I've seen people, right? And I'm not gonna mention the race, right? But this is the type of people. But anyways, bow. I've seen. Well,
the Nando spice is very nice.
Oh my goodness!
It's got some peri Portuguese peri thing. It's very nice. I think we should get some nanas after this.
Anyways,
you were saying?
As I was saying. But I'm serious. Like Nagoya Budi Festive, Batsama ka di buckets. Tsena le di 2 ranta le ding. Baya ko metsing. And then ba itla ba tshela. Okay, so I'm not even gonna be like, what are they doing there? When so a brown person. Ha motho a irelo a ya ko metsing with money. A bitla tshela. Why? And then we wonder why Bonaba Dula is so successful and stuff and whatnot.
Can I add on to something to that?
Yeah.
The bath salts.
Funny that you speak about bath salts. I was speaking to Sandra this morning, and I said to her, please pour some coarse salt in your bathtub and bath with that, because it protects you. It cleanses, it protects. And she said to me that she was actually having a conversation with you.
Yeah. And I said the same thing.
And you said the exact same thing. And I'm like, yes. Why are we but yeah, the point we're making.
Hello, if you look at movies and TV, romantic ones or whatever, and some series, hence some guys, I'm not saying go watch the whole series, but try and watch a lot of Dallas, those kind of, you'll see there's other ones, Dynasty and Dallas and what. Why never tell the rose petals about tell the bath salts? Well, they would say it's bath salts because they put them in jars, but it's actually coarse salt that they use.
But bath salt is coarse salt. It's the base of a bath salt like mixture. It's coarse salt.
Those little cocktail candles, and then they'll be like, they're setting a romantic mood. Hi guys, thank you. Thank you.
Fire,
4 elements.
Water,
4 elements.
Thank you. Assumpleef toch. And then how about the incense?
Thank you.
For what? For wind. Anyways, the point we are trying to make here, with all of this that we say, we're trying to say this is how you end up, how we look at Hola. Because you don't understand your history, you don't understand a lot of things. Then we look at Hola. You've always known that you're gifted. And by gifted doesn't necessarily mean being gifted means that you must understand that you are a gifted child from the African soil, and there's a certain specific way there are certain rituals things like coarse salt, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Simple things like that. Things like you need to speak to your ancestors. How do you call your ancestors? Without you having pepo or leave them pepo. Leave it, right? You light your candle. You go to a church. They light candles. Big ones. They tell you not to do the whole spiritual thing, your traditional spiritual thing, but then they do it. So you switch on your candle. After you switch on your candle, and you pray. You get into it and you pray.
And then don't blow it out. They always say don't blow out the candle. Use a little cup to close it. What do we say? Thank you. We're just trying to put it out there, guys.
So, okay. Why? Okay. You get there and then you get told, oh, nah, you gifted. You're like, yeah, okay, I'm gifted. Cool.
I hope you're going to highlight the negative part. I think that's what's putting people off.
Well, okay. Let me set the foundation. You get there and then you went there to go consult. And after you get consult, you get told that you gifted. Cool, you gifted. You understand it. After you told you gifted, then you get told that, oh no, because you gifted, you have to go. You have to go Hotwasa. So then this is where all of this started. This is where this emotional roller coaster started. Yeah. And especially for me, because I found myself in a position where I went through a certain journey, which, okay, before kibao gape with the torch lights and the before you guys starting to pick it right now and start, all I'm saying is for now I understand that maybe perhaps I needed to go through that process, and not even maybe I needed to go through that step. Just like in life there's certain things that I needed to go through and experience.
But I still say, and I was telling that we are our ancestors' wildest. Damn, you gotta need. I was saying, and I was telling Sandra that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams.
I'm laughing because Sandra used to do this, and then I just edit after.
No, but I think that's why I repeated that. But
there's a part where
it won't be a glitch.
It's going to be edited. Don't worry.
So we are the army that they have been looking and waiting for. One, because we're very open-minded, and they also creating an uncomfortable unrest in order for us to say, hold up, wait a minute, we need to find out why this is happening, and we need to start having these type of conversations. Whether it's uncomfortable for some people, it's going to provoke their thoughts.
It's going to make you think about it.
It's going to make you think about it.
Just to add to that, there's this movie where there's this guy. I saw it there's a movie I watched called V for Vendetta, but there's a part there where there's a guy who's
What is it called?
V for Vendetta.
Oh, okay.
So the movie's
I thought you said Beautiful Vendetta. I'm like, what's beautiful about a vendetta?
V for Vendetta. But there's a clip there, there's a piece there where there's this guy, he's in a newsroom and he's talking, and he's like saying that I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you to go tell your congressman and tell everyone and stuff and whatnot. I don't know how to fix the inflation and whatnot. Kind of like he was just mentioning, I don't know how to fix matata. What I do know is that you need to get mad. You need to first say, I'm mad. Yeah. So I think with what you're saying,
seen the movie, or maybe when you preview
the clip you're thing, and that thing that we won, it's like, currently, if you check the atmosphere and you check what's happening, there's a lot of people spiritual, but and yes, it's that thing of we don't know what we want to tell you what to do right now, but we want you to get mad. You need to first be like, you know what? I'm spiritual. I'm gifted. Damn
it!
You need to. Then from there we're gonna get to the next thing.
Where you like once you've gotten it's like the the 7 steps of healing? Where first you are in denial. I don't know how many steps is it, but you first are in denial, acceptance.
No, acceptance is the last one.
No, it's denial.
There's bargaining. There's anger.
There's anger. Then there's bargaining. Then I don't know how many steps. It's that. It's exactly like I was saying to somebody.
Something.
There's a philosophy of life. There's a standard philosophy of life. And there's a few philosophies, and people like to think there's a lot. No. There's a few basic philosophies of life, but there's different methods. And people don't understand that. They want to philosophize everything. No. And if you are trying to tell me a method that you believe in, let's go back to the philosophy. And that's exactly what we're trying to do
and if
with
you don't
these
understand,
kind of topics.
Then you learn method ill. Let's say method how.
You will not win with it.
You'll not win with it, and it'll gonna win at it.
Exactly.
Now, please, I'm not saying that you're wrong for having taken. Now, when it comes inside, it comes from within. It comes from within, where you just feel like this is something that I need to do, and you do it. But the other thing is that you also need to have understanding as to why I'm taking this particular step or why I'm doing this particular thing, because for me, having went through the process that I went through, where I've got a lot of grievances, you know what I'm saying? If this was a McDonald's, trust and believe, I'll be sitting with the head of McDonald's, being like, guess what? I don't had one of your burgers. I wanted a McFeast Deluxe. They don't give me a Big Mac. Then they try to sell it off as a McFeast Deluxe because they added some chutney on the side. I don't want no chutney on the side. Okay, I'm sorry. But what I'm trying to say.
Jamu is on a tangent, guys.
I'm angry.
He is angry.
Let me tell you why I'm angry. Let me tell you why I'm angry.
Tatika.
This is why I'm angry. I'm angry because we're all gifted. Every single one of you is gifted. Every single one of you is special. To the extent of your speciality or your specialness. Yeah. What I'm saying is that the others that are special, right, in their own rights, you'll be special. Maybe you'll have dreams and you'll see certain things, and that's your gift. But because of you don't listen to your dreams or you don't pay attention to what your dreams are telling you, then your ancestors cause a rift. They cause like issues so that you go and consult so that someone can be like, hey, you're gifted. Listen to your dreams. Then you listen to them. But then because now we're not, we ignore who we are, what we are, and then we tend to end up in situations where someone's going to be like, oh, you're gifted, you need to do this. And then just like we were saying with the previous episode that people ended up monetizing religion, which was religion was created for that. But then they started brainwashing you to a point where it's monetized, where you go to church now, and the reason why you go to church, collect that 2.5. I want to tithe. Yeah, I want to tithe.
Has it gone up to 15%?
Yo, I don't even know. I don't even know. You don't even know why you are tithing. You even know why.
We were actually having this conversation with my mom, where I was saying I was actually having a conversation with somebody, and I mentioned it to my mom. But I mean, we were just talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I think people don't realize that you don't have to tithe. Hello, who are you tithing to? Jesus didn't go to a church. So anyway, we're not going to go back to that, but I'm
tithing
saying
to Jesus because Jesus said I must give him 10%.
So Venom Francisco tithe that, because he went to the Jewish church, he went to the Roman Catholics, he went to all these churches. He went to visit. If you read in the Bible, he never actually, he preached outside.
Wait again.
He never asked anyone for a cent.
Can someone tell me? I'm not saying, hey, Harulani. But why we donations. Are tithing? Because every time they tell us to tithe, it was, but God sees your heart. You must give.
Guys.
Why am I tithing? To who? And guys,
that's why it was the whole thing. Yeah, you donate.
House ban, ne? House ban. Source of income. You go to the church and you want to go get prayed for. You get to the church, then there's some self-righteous Christian person. We're gonna use Christian because tithing. So, anyways, you get there, and then you know what? Look at you.
You can afford.
How you expect your God to bless you when you don't bless your God? Like, I don't have a job. I ain't even got nothing. I'm here praying so I can get a job, so I can start tithing. But that's what anyways.
But now let's switch back to what you were saying about ulokhohlola. Now you've got that, and you because you're not realizing your gift, now you become uneasy. Things are not going well. You've been sent towards this direction, because I don't think if it was a couple of years ago, a lot of people would have gone let's go to church. But it's deliberate. I think it is deliberate that is happening this way right now. Now
there's a shift, man.
There's a huge shift.
Anyone who's spiritual, they'll tell you
there's a huge shift.
Oh, if you don't know what the shift is, remember that there was a time when there was an earthquake. Yeah. Because I don't know why people want proof. You want show me where the shift was. Show me where the tectonic plates moved, because I didn't feel them. There's a spiritual shift. That's what we're trying to say.
And I would say, and I kid you not, this is what my opinion. Disclaimer: it's my opinion.
It's not you. It's me.
Hello. Hashtag. The coronavirus came at a time where we needed to pay attention, where we needed to realize and needed to put in motion that shift that needed to take place. It wasn't, and people, it wasn't engineering, a virus was bottled up, and Yay, oksalayo, it made us sit and be one with ourselves and
You
look
paid
within
attention.
to pay attention.
And a lot of people now are more spiritual than ever.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
people who were not even Christian. Or
That's
not,
right.
They were atheists.
That's right.
Now they believe.
That's right. I
Because
know.
they're the corona cough.
But
Could it be? If you don't, if I was a preacher, I'd be like, if you don't believe in God, believe in Corona, because it believes in you, and it affects your body. And look at you now. You need a prayer. You need a prayer. You're up in the hospital with your oxygen and stuff. You need a prayer. Can you feel it? Oh, can you feel it? I need a prayer. COVID, can you do believe, Papa? I tell you now.
Dada.
Yo.
So, yes. It showed us, oh, really, you too?
So, a lot of spiritual people are speaking about that. And we're saying that, yeah, COVID was a spiritual shift for us. It was for those unseeing eyes. Luna Leboni, you guys saw it in people going to hospital and stuff and whatnot. But before it, there was a spiritual shift in which if you were spiritual,
coming.
you would feel you
But I
felt
think
it.
last year was that okay. Now we've tried to say, guys, attention. We want your attention. But now we like no. We demand your attention. But it's been a long time coming.
Disclaimer: we in no way are disregarding the lives lost during the pandemic.
We're
not disregarding it. We're not saying
it was a sad time.
People did die, and yes, a lot of them. It's like, how do you explain it?
Unexpected.
People died.
Yeah,
they died. They died, and
it was
complications
a terrible time.
Related to
terrible time
lungs and stuff, and and not being able to breathe and stuff. So we're in no way disregarding that.
No, not at
all.
all.
We're saying is that you can be so blind to everything else that's happening and concentrate only on one thing.
Yeah.
And then you realize that this is just one of the things that is happening. And I know there's going to be some Bible carrying individual right now going, yes, it's part of the apocalypse. It's in Revelations. And if you opened up with John chapter 4, it says right there that you would ascend down with a fire that will close your lungs and kill people. I know someone's gonna say that. I know that someone's gonna say that, but
there's always somebody taking advantage of the situation. But the same thing that you were talking about earlier. They're motolo, and then now they're also taking advantage
of when. Now you fall into this thing and you follow. And now I'm gonna tell you what I tell people.
Let's finish. Can I finish that for you before you say tell people? Let me add on to what you're saying, and then you go into this lefehlo, and then
lefehlo is.
It is explain it in layman terms.
It's
spiritual. I'm thinking in.
It's spiritual school. I
wanted to say that, but
I'm inclined to call it initiation school. Yeah. But when the boys go to the mountain, that's called initiation school. So. It's a spiritual school. It's like literally going to university. It's like going to It's like Kitsamo. I'm going to Paka.
Let's say a traditional spiritual school.
It's traditional spiritual school.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I'm more comfortable with that.
It's a traditional spiritual school in which you go, and you don't get taught to be gifted.
No.
You get taught how to harness. You know how when you watch the Karate Kid and Mr.
Wind. Hello.
Netflix should pay me because we like advertising this one. You know how Mr. Miyagi with the I forgot what the Karate Kid. You know how Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax off. That is what spiritual school is. It's wax on, wax off. The Karate Kid, he already had the fight inside of him.
Yes.
He already had it. He was already, and he
got angry.
Yes. He was angry. He was like, I'm tired of these bullies. And then Mr. Yagi.
You see, philosophy.
Daniel's son. Yes.
Philosophy of life, different methods.
Different methods, but it's the same thing. different toilets, same. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to say right here.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
That Lefetlo is Daniel-san's school, where he was being taught by Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi was teaching him how to harness the fight that he had inside of him into the moves, the wax on, wax off. Yes. So when you go to a Lefetlo, yeah, you get there and they supposed to guide
they
you.
They wax on, wax off you.
And harness. And it brings and it brings me to the next thing, which is this term, yeah, ukobela. Okay. How would you ke gobela? It's like go ikoba. In other words, wa ikoba mo badimong ba ka. Okay, I need you to say that in vernac because please in English, let me try to say a gobeller is when you bend. You bend. you actually bow. A gobela is
you should see
it's
my
a
face.
guy. There's a teacher who's supposed to bend. Who's bow.
Well, they do bend some of them.
You're supposed to bow to your ancestors, and take heed from your gangsters. The underground gang.
Ain't nothing but a gangster party.
Your ancestors are supposed to lead him and show okay, him or her, that listen, this is what we want you to teach this person. Teach them to harness this and that and whatnot. But then it becomes this money-making scheme in which you're put in a situation and you're put in a place where someone takes your gift and bona. They
habaikobe at all, and that's the dark side.
That's the very dark side.
So I will come in there and say, and because we said earlier, you're going with blind faith. You go in with and you're going in here to get help because you're going to seek help, and you most of the time you get led to the wrong people because nobody has been taught. That's why we go with blind faith, because you're not taught. Our generation, it suffered the most.
Still suffering
because you don't know. Like for me, my parents were like clueless. They're like, what is going on? You go into this with that faith of this person is going to help me, but then they don't teach. And then that's the thing, you need to say, if you're a healer, you need to say to somebody, this is what I see, this is what's happening. You go back and you use this and this and this to connect, and this is what you need to say. Not the parents as the parents, because most of them like, bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your auntie, bring the whole family. You as the elders who are still here, because you kind of have the connection, teach, this is what you need to do. You need to apologize or kind of reconnect so that the connection can pass on to your child. And then this is how you pray. This is what you say. Call on your ancestors by their clan names, by their surnames. If you know them, you don't know them. Hence, family tree is so important. Most fairer skinned people have family trees.
They make sure they know.
Do you understand? Hello, we pointing something out again.
Wena, ema pele, tla ke go botsa. Wena.
Ha o itse le gore malome ga go ke mang?
Lerato, ke bua le wena Lerato. Wena Lerato. A na o itse gore ntatemogolo a gago le ntatemogolo a gage le ntatemogolo a gage. I know, do you even know lebitso la gage? Do you even know?
You don't know.
You don't even know the name. And that's why, and wait again, hangalo witty, gore ntatemogolo. That great grandfather was this type of person. They did this and whatnot. I had to go do the research, and I'm still doing the research today to still try to figure out.
And some families don't even know.
They don't know.
So we go back. Let's go back to. I want to finish this part because we can talk about this for a week, guys, for more than forever, for life. But and then, so now that Gobela, so the person who's supposed to be a gobel. I don't even call them a gobel because none of them do that. Most of them don't do the right thing. They don't teach. They don't heal. Instead, they actually mess it up more for money.
Yeah,
for that 40K. It's going for 40K now.
Ooh.
I mean, here's a person
just saying. I get
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, Katwazisa. No, I'm like
They
serious,
steal your
guys.
gift.
Can you please call me 072123457? Katwazisa. It's a cheap price, guys. I'll do it for 7 grand. 7 grand. I mean,
Bona, my friend.
isn't here? Okay, so sorry. Oh my word, did I do? Cringe word.
It's not you.
It's me.
Cringe worthy. Anyhow. So yeah, no, my God. So you get to that point where now Motona seeing cash ching ching, or they can there's two, it can go two ways. You are gifted, but you're probably not supposed to go all the way. You're probably just supposed to appease your ancestors and heal a lineage and carry on with your life. Mara because I know and how the 40,000 doesn't end there, or there's other stuff when you're in there.
There's other things that you need to pay for and stuff that you need to do.
And then spending so 40,000 6 months. Oh no, if it's 6 months, another 20K could have
60 grand.
Well, I understand.
What are you willing to pay for something that was innately in you?
And that's where the negative
aspect
of it comes in, and that's why people look at it and it's like, woo, everybody what was that? That's my point. That's where it's going. Literally, we like Amasela earlier, where somebody tells you, no, instead, when you put it on, whatever, you get sick or you get headaches or nothing, and things get worse.
Here's the question I'm going to ask. If your ancestors are alive and they're speaking and they're talking, why about No. Okay, cool. Maybe there's a point where you were not listening to what they were saying, so you need to go and consult. And then when you got there and you consulted, then you open yourself up and you say, I'm listening. Then you go home. Why about and come show you what you need to see. Why about yeah, you need to get this one and you need to put this specific one and you need to wear it like this. But that's not what you're gonna get.
So it's
this topic.
We're not trying to say everyone. There's a lot of them who are so helpful, and this whole notion of Batubaba Barongwa, I'll call him Barongwa.
Descent.
Yes. We are in 2021. Our ancestors are pretty much aware we are going into the 5th industrial revolution, and things have changed. We just need to know where we're coming from in order to know where we're going. We are not going to be building we live in suburbs. We're not going to be building mud huts in the suburb. We can brick and mortar. If we have to. But because of they're trying to protect the old who are making money out of this, are trying to protect the dark side of it and how they make the money sneaking. They don't teach you the right things. They don't show you the right ways.
Can we go back to that thing that we said in the episode before this one? We said that I had to get to a point where I realized that my creator is everywhere. And sometimes, yes, you need to get taught how to use your gift in a specific way. But your gift is inside of you. It means even when you're naked, you can use your gift. Even when you're in jeans, even when... The point, it's not that you shouldn't get these certain things.
You can.
It's not that you shouldn't get them or you shouldn't practice the traditions. It's that where do we draw the line between I'm doing what my ancestors asked me and doing what another individual wants me to do? And where do I draw the line between this benefits my ancestors and benefits my heritage and my lineage?
Or it benefits the person.
Or it benefits that person. On that note, you know what?
It's a lot.
I want to go forward with the topic, but it's
You can't. I don't think you can cut it down to one show, two shows. It's a continuous.
We need to keep having this.
Guys.
We need to. But guys, put in the comments, YouTube, if you guys want this episode again, if you want us to do this and you want us to talk about what you guys want to talk, please put it down. Yeah, unfortunately we have reached the closure and the end, and we'd like to thank everybody. We'd like to thank Victoria. Don't tell nobody.
Use the word.
The host with the most, keeping it consistent, like
don't
the
you lie.
Okay, I said I got a pretty voice. Sonini. Thank you very much, guys. Catch us in the next one. Tokozani, Kamaku, thank you very much. I'm just gonna keep catching you again in the next episode. So we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, Facebook, we're on Twitter. If you search Facebook, two cringeworthy, if you search the number two as in cringeworthy, number two as in cringeworthy. Yeah,
on YouTube when they search because of them as type cringe worthy, type cringe worthy, like you said, two words.
You'll find us on all the platforms.